indigenous is that indigenous standed against the rich families and the government that were supporting them. And of course, indigenous back in the day, they didn't have weapons to fight against these rich people. They only had rocks and machetes, right?
Yeah.
Meanwhile, the rich people, being helped by the soldiers and the government, they had guns, right? They had guns. And back in March 24th, 1932, there's an area in El Salvador called Ruta de las Flores. And in Ruta de las Flores, a big massacre started. Basically, the rich people felt threatened by the indigenous. And so they asked the military to go to the mountains and starting to execute indigenous. The soldiers arrived and they started to kill as many people as possible. Anybody that had indigenous features, our indigenous, they were short, brown or dark skin color, almond eyes, and very big cheeks, right? Round faces. And so it was very easy for the soldiers to know who was indigenous. And they started to kill all of these people, from children up to elders. Nobody was safe. And in the end, there was at least as 35,000 indigenous getting killed in 1932. So that's very recent, right? Isn't it? So after this, El Salvador basically lost its essence, its culture. There's not as many indigenous in El Salvador anymore. And let's say
because they were
all
killed?
because of the massacre, correct. Basically in El Salvador, so far that we know of, there is only the 2% of the population being indigenous. And most of these people are nowadays, what, 70, 80 years old? The ones that know the native language, Nahuatl, and they are still speaking and representing the traditions and wearing the typical costume, there are very few. So unfortunately, that's happening in El Salvador.
So all the Spanish rich people, they left, and then new immigrants came in, like from Syria, Palestine.
Yeah, correct. From Palestine. In El Salvador, we have a very big Palestinian colony here.
Okay.
There is at least as 100,000 Palestinians in El Salvador, and they've got big businesses.
They're good in trade.
Oh, yes, they are. Well, an example, our president, Palestinian background. Imagine, So Palestinians, Germans, more Spanish, but not the 14 families, some other Spanish, and of course the United States of America that also arrived into El Salvador.
Good. So I think things are getting better, and hope things will get even better, and El Salvador will become heaven on earth.
Yes.